As you know, we've been discussing the last few weeks which is a higher level in learning Torah or doing mitzvahs. And we went both angles. The mitzvahs comes from a higher source, but it's only external. Torah comes from a lower level, but it's internal. It's in your mind, it's in your heart. Mitzvahs is more external. So the mitzvah comes from a higher level, but it only affects the outer part of you. Torah comes from a lower level, but it goes deeper into you. And we went discussing both ends. Today, we're going to take the same theme and continue it in two other aspects. It's called Isarusa de Latata or Isarusa de La'ela. What is the difference between Isarusa de Latata and Isarusa de La'ela? So just a practical example. A child doesn't want to go to school. So the parent wakes him up. Oh, give me 5 more minutes. Wakes him up. Give me 2 more minutes. Finally, the kid goes to school. So what got the kid to go to school is not because the kid wanted to go to school. The kid would rather sleep, but the parent woke him up 2 or 3 times. It's called the Sirusa. A Sirusa is like waking up. The La'ela from above. They wake you up, wake you up, wake you up. Okay, you go. The problem is when your whole reason of being in school is because someone woke you up and inspired you to go to school. So it's like we call it external. It doesn't really penetrate through and through you. Why? Because you don't really want to go. When it's a flight leaving to Israel that you have a free ticket and it's leaving 4 a.m., you're already up 2 a.m. Why are you up 2 a.m.? Because you're afraid the security line is going to be long and so on. The father didn't have to wake him up. He himself was inspired. He himself wants to go. That's called a Sirusa de Latata. Sirusa de Latata means when I want to. So which is a higher level? When you want to put on tefillin, or when God inspires you to put on tefillin?
God, you.
This is going to be the difference between same difference of Torah and mitzvah. Why? Look at the difference. When God inspires you, it comes from a very high level. It comes from God. God inspired you. It's not like, how did He inspire you? You know what He did? He made a miracle for you. God forbid, your relative is in the hospital, and they got better within a minute, and the doctor gave up. So you got so inspired, you're going to put on tefillin. So that was an inspiration that God from above inspired you to do the mitzvah. It's called Isarusa de La'ela. But Ha'onesh? Yeah, okay.
It's the same, right?
I don't because something else. Exterior, from exterior, yeah. Exactly the same idea. But since it comes from above, and you didn't earn it, you didn't work on it, so it's like the mitzvah that only surrounds you from the outside. But if you yourself work on yourself to get yourself to put on tefillin, so yes, it's not coming from God. It's coming from you, but it's in you. There's a famous expression that it says by Avram Avinu, Ekev Asher Shamata Bekoli. What does it mean, Ekev? Asher Shamata Bekoli. Hashem says to Avram. So the translation the Chumash writes is because. Ekev means like, because you listen to my voice. The Baal Shem Tov says a little different. He says, Ekev means you heel.
Akev.
The akev, under your foot. Avram Avinu, when he heard God tell him to do a bris or whatever mitzvah he did, it didn't just go in the air and go straight out the other ear. Whatever he heard from God went all the way through till his akev. Everything penetrated in through and through. That his listening to Hashem wasn't just, okay, it went in, and it inspired him all the way. There's a rabbi that was sent by the Rebbe to Italy. His name was Rabbi Gerelik, as the shliach of, and he was the rabbi of Italy from 1958. And he was one of the first shluchim that went out. So every question he had, he wrote to the Rebbe. How should I make my flyers? How should I, every little question. And the Rebbe guided him. And all these way of doing things is what we use today to know how to, follow. After 20 years, the Rebbe wrote him a letter and he says, until when do I have to hold you by your hand and pull you to every place? Can't you already do it on your own? Now, the Rebbe wasn't trying to hurt him, but you got to mature. You got to, the Serusa de La'ela, you got already. 20 years I've been shooting Isarusa de La'ela. Now it should come from you. Now here's the Chiddush.
Because of him, you have the process book.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah. But the point here is, that's the difference between a Susa de Leila and a Susa de Tata. A Susa de Leila means it comes from above, so it just surrounds you. It doesn't go in you. A Susa de Tata comes from you, but it's not as high. So what would you rather? It's a Rusa.
This you all very hard when it's
from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the beauty. And that's why it stays with you.
And sometimes you have to break your habits and
All the time.
Yeah.
You have to go against your nature.
It's like winning the lottery.
The answer is
If you win the lottery or you work hard for your money.
Exactly. Exactly. And guess what? According to Torah, when someone says to you, oh, when I win the lottery, I'm going to give you Maaseh Tzedakah. I says, no. Give me now Maaseh Tzedakah. Don't wait to win the lottery. Why? Because winning the lottery, you're not going to give any Maaser if you don't start when you don't win the lottery. When you start when the $5 you're earning, and you give 50 cents to Maaser, then I know that when you win the lottery, you're also going to do it. But if you don't do it when you earn the $5, then you're not going to do it when you win the lottery. There's no way. It just doesn't work. I'm telling you guys. It doesn't work. And I know it for a fact. I know people that won a lottery in the sense, not winning actual lottery, but they made a good deal in business, whatever. They got $20 million, whatever. So you come to them and say, could you give me 10% of tzedakah? It's too much. What mean too much?
Too much for you.
Too much to give 2 million. I says you're missing the point. If you would have started when you earned $1 and give 10 cents and the $100, $10, then that's your life. There's no 2 million, 5 million. What's the difference? This is what Hashem gives you, so you give 10%. There's not even a question.
some of them even give 20%.
Yeah, the Torah says 20%.
Chaimish, the Gemara says.
Chaimish.
On the other hand,
In the Tanya, whenever you learn in Tanya about tzedakah, he never ever says 10%. It's always 20%. No, I'm not joking.
You was thinking
Why?
about the future Chabad house.
Because it says by Yosef HaTzadik, when he came to Egypt and he became the king of Egypt, he did a deal with everyone. They gave property to everyone, and they gave seeds. They said, everyone, you plant.
And 20%.
And 20% you give to Paro, and the other 80 you keep. That was the deal in the whole Egypt. So the Torah says, why does the Torah have to tell us the whole story that Yosef took all the Egyptians and gave them property and then gave them seeds and made a deal? Well, who cares? What's the difference? Well, who cares if they did it or not? No. Paro represents God, and Yosef represents the Jewish people. He's teaching us that whenever Hashem gives us something, 20% goes to Hashem.
so how do you count 10?
But
Who made up 10?
10 is the minimum.
So someone decided along the way that...
No, 10 is what the Torah says, aser
So it said-
ta'aser, yeah. Yeah, Yaakovin.
Minimum.
No, but it says aser ta'aser, it says. But so why am I saying this? Because the Tanya says another thing, that when a person gives 20%, what really he's doing, he's giving the whole thing. Why? Because in order to give 20%, you had to have the other 80. So that means really all your money is really being used for Hashem. Even the 80 that you're keeping is also part of Hashem, because you wouldn't have been able to give the 20 if you didn't have the whole thing. There's no way to give 20 if you don't have the whole 100. So the only way you could give the 20 is from that. But that's something you have to work on yourself. You have to work on yourself to do it. It's not like he said. It's l'surusa de latata. Now, if God does a miracle for you, so yeah, but it doesn't last. Like you said, if you win the lottery, you lose the money fast, because it's not something you earn. Unless the guy worked hard his whole life and earned $1 million, and then he won the lottery, yeah, so he knows how to use money. But if you just win stamazai, it doesn't work, because there was never a work from yourself. Is this clear? So now we can read inside. It's beautiful. Now it's going to go smoothly. V'hine, page 130.
וראינה?
V'hine. You have it? You have a copy? Oh, okay.
What page are we on?
130.
Hey. 130, hey.
Hey. Danny.
Well, you need one?
No, I'm gonna share with the gentleman over there.
Why? There's another one. There's another 20. There's another one. There's 20%.
Yeah.
עוד אחד?
Other half?
Can I have a
5% more than 0, or it doesn't count 4, 5, not 10.
No, it's better to give something. I mean, but 10 is a minimum. If everyone would give 10% at tzedakah, everything would be good. You know what I mean? People wouldn't have to worry. Okay, Chevra,
That's it.
let's read inside. V'hine im kol anal yuvan gam kein ma shenizbar al pasuk. It's one of the blessings we say under the chuppah. Sois tosis v'sogel ha'akara. Sois tosis means you should be happy. Daldei simcha shel mitzvah, through doing a mitzvah b'simcha. Mamshichin sha'afilu k'sheknesis yisrael h'b'chines hakara. Meaning like this. We spoke about this question. It's a simple question. I don't know why no one asks it under the chuppah, but under the chuppah you say sos tosis v'togel hakara. May this akara is a person, a lady that can't have children.
Yeah.
That's what akara is. V'kibutz baneh, and she gathers her children. What children could the akara have? We're telling you that she can't have children. And you're telling her she's gathering children. What kind of children? If she's akara, then she's not. If she has children, how could you even say that? And you tell her besimcha. So he's going to explain to you, anytime you do a mitzvah because God inspired you, that's akara. Because it's not something you worked on. So you know what the nature normally is? If you get inspiration from God, it's not going to last. So you're called akara. Akara means there's no fruits going to come out of it. You'll be inspired for a few minutes, and then there's no continuation. But Hashem says, I'm going to make a chidush. Sois tasis. I'm going to give the akara, that means the Jew that was inspired by me. Not that the Jew inspired himself. He got inspired by God. I'm going to do a chidush. That even a Jew that got inspired by God, he'll give birth to children. Meaning, it will last forever. How? Well, usually when you get inspired, it doesn't last forever. Only when you work on it, like you earn the loving. Besimcha, if you do things besimcha.
So it will come from you.
Then by doing it besimcha, then even though you were inspired, right, then it's not going to be just inspired from above, but since you're doing it besimcha, it's going to be as if You did it from your own, and you're going to have children. So think about it. If you do any mitzvah with happiness, even though you were inspired by someone else, but if you do it b'simcha, it's as if you created it, and there'll be an everlasting continuation that you'll have children, which means they'll continue forever. So doing a thing b'simcha, how does it work? So he's going to explain.
What does simcha mean?
Oh, we're going to get to simcha. What does simcha mean? That's a hard question. Do you know anyone that's b'simcha?
Always.
Huh?
Always.
A few people. But simcha cannot come from anything outside of you.
Oh.
If it comes from anything outside of you, it's not simcha.
What's it called?
It has to come from within you.
So not from things. It has to be.
So let's say I got simcha from this. No. Simcha from money. No. Simcha from it doesn't. That's not what simcha is. Simcha means from in you. How? We'll get to it. Remember we spoke before. You remember? What does it mean? We spoke about there is advantage of Torah over mitzvahs. And there's an advantage of mitzvahs over Torah. What's the advantage? We said that Torah is more internal, even though it's a lower level, and mitzvahs is on a higher level, but it's external. So each one has another advantage. When you yourself awaken to do something, so it's coming from you. He says, that comes from God alone, not from you doing your work. That comes from a much higher level. Why? Since it comes from God alone. Let's think about the creation. Before there was any humans, what got God to create the world? There was no one there to inspire him. There was no humans. There was no animals. There was no creation. So why did God decide to do the world? Ki chafetz chesed hu. What's chafetz chesed mean? He desires to have kindness. That desire comes from God alone, because there was no one here to make God want to do anything. And it came from God alone, which comes from a very high level. You can't reach that level. It's chafetz chesed hu. So when God created the world, before there was anything, it comes from God alone. He decided, I want to make a world. God was inspired on his own. It comes from a high level, and he makes the world. But then, once he created the world, he says, Adam, I need you to do me a favor. I started the creation for my own. But I need you every day, and especially on Rosh Hashanah, to inspire me again to continue the creation. I'm waiting for your initiation. Isarusa dilla tata. Tata means us bottom, people here. You remember what happened after the flood? Noach was afraid to go out of the teva.
Right.
He said, God, every 1600 years you're going to flood the world again. So why do I have to go out and have more children? And then in 1600 years you're going to flood the world again. Let's just stop it now. We'll stay in the teva. Our children will live till we die and finish. You don't need any humans. So God made a shvuah. Shvuah means like an oath, like a brit, a swear. Od kol yemei haaretz zera v'katza yom v'layla lo yishbaisu. It's in the Torah. They will never cease day and night, winter, summer, fall, spring, zera, katza, everything. The seasons are going to continue forever. Noach says, wow. So that means if the people are bad, you're still going to continue? Yeah. If the people don't deserve it, you're going to continue? Yeah. It's never going to stop now. So that comes to Susa de La'ela. That means it's coming from above. God says, I'm going to continue this world forever, no matter what. That comes from God.
It says, Kol od yemei haaretz. God can change his mind and just destroy the entire earth.
Oh, you mean, yeah, but as long as the
As long as
other...
the earth here.
Okay,
It's
the
not going to
Aretz-
have another Mabul or another...
Right, never going to happen.
Like,
Why? The Shor Shemimshach, this comes from the level She'ein Sirusa L'Tata Mages L'Sham. It comes from such a high level that the Sirusa L'Tata can't reach it, and even the Lo Ach Shadari, even if we're not good people, it's still going to continue. So that's called Sirusa de Leila. It comes from God alone. It comes from God above. Whether you deserve it or not, God says, I'm going to keep the world going. It's going to stay, and that's it. But turn the page. You have to turn to the page where it says 131. You see the page 131?
yeah.
V'hinei mikol zeh mavur. He just writes just one thing that the Baal Shem Tov says, an interesting thing just for people to know. In Pirkei Avos it says, B'chol yoyim baskol oimer. Every day there's a voice of heaven that comes out and says, guys, wake up, do tshuva, follow Hashem. So the Baal Shem Tov asks, does anyone hear this voice? We don't hear it. So what is this voice every day? Kol yom v'yom, there's a baskol omer. So you know what Baal Shem Tov says? The fact that sometimes we wake up in the morning and we get like we're in a good mood to do the right thing, I get that inspiration, that was from that voice. In the morning when you wake up and you're like, oh, I want to put on my tefillin. Oh, I want to go to shul. Like something. What got you so inspired? Because you slept?
The voice.
No, the voice that every day Hashem has a voice coming from heaven and say, Kindalach, wake up. I want you to put on tefillin. I can't wait.
How do you hear the voice?
You don't hear it, but you know it.
How do you feel that voice? You need to be in Kedusha.
Yeah, of course, 100%. But that's what he says. So what do we see from here? That if a God does inspiration from above, not by you initiating, is of a much higher level. It comes from God alone. But the difference is, it's not going to last forever. But Ube'emes, in some places it says the opposite. Sheserusa de la'ela shenimsach al yisei isusel tata gavoya yoiser. Isha mazeres tchila yodleda zacha, which means, that we spoke about it last week or no? If a woman initiates first, the child will be a zachar. If the man initiates first, it'll be a nekeva. What does it mean? If we initiate our relationship to Hashem from us, then it's going to last forever, like a zachar. If it comes from above, from Hashem, that initiates us, then it's not going to last. Clear? So now, which is higher? If God inspires you, or if you inspire yourself on your own? Which is a higher level?
No matter.
So he says, on one hand, that comes from a higher level. On the other hand, it doesn't penetrate through and through. So what penetrates through and through is if you initiate. And that's the same difference between Torah and mitzvahs. Mitzvahs is higher, but it surrounds you. It doesn't go in you. Torah is lower, but it comes from you. So there is something great when it comes from God. There is something great when you initiate it. So which one should we pick? So he says, they're both true. When God inspires you from Himself, from God Himself, that's Chafetz Chesed. That's a much higher level. When God decides to do it on His own, it's a much higher level. The only difference is, it comes down, but only exterior. So you have a higher level, but only reaches your exterior. Like he explains there in Lamatzech al Shminis, There's a famous thing that we do a bris on the 8th day. Why do we do it on the 8th day? Why not on the 7th day? So the Torah says because the 8th is above nature. 7 is nature, 8. So that means the bris comes from above nature. Comes from God decides that He wants us, He wants to connect us. Page 131 on the left, the top column on the left. When we initiate and we decide to do something and it comes from us, and that awakens, that goes inside. Even though it's a much lower level, it has in it a greater value from coming from a higher level exterior. So a higher level exterior versus a lower level interior, is the lower level has in it a value much more than the higher. Nimsu. Is the same difference between Malas HaMitzvahs and Malas HaTorah. You remember we said the difference between mitzvahs and Torah. Even though you're doing the mitzvah, even though you're learning Torah, but just like there is a difference that Torah comes internal and mitzvahs come from a higher level, the same thing, that's the difference between the Sursa de Tata and the Sursa de Le'ela. Is that clear?
Yes.
So my question to you is, what is the ultimate? Is the ultimate that it's all up to us? Or is the ultimate that Hashem should do it?
All up to us.
And I'll tell you where it comes to be. There's a big argument, which month is Mashiach going to come? The month of Nisan or the month of Tishrei?
Nisan.
What do you say?
Nisan.
What do you say?
My birthday.
His birthday.
I thought
That's one opinion.
yeah, they say
Second opinion, Tishrei. Tishrei.
It comes Pesach.
Now let me ask you a question. When you say that Nisan is the time Mashiach comes, that means he's not going to come on Iyar, and he can't come in Sivan, and he can't come in Tammuz,
It will come, but maybe
or
not
Tishrei.
until Nisan.
So I'll tell you the difference. The difference between Nisan and Tishrei is the difference between a Surusa de Leila and a Surusa de Latata. In Nisan, God did everything for us. He took us out of Egypt, we were not ready. He pulled us out of Egypt, we wanted to go back. He pulls us further, He gives us food, we want to run back. We weren't ready, but it's all from Hashem. Tishrei is it's us. We do tshuva, we fast Yom Kippur, we go to shul, we do Sukkot. It's all our avodah. The argument is, what's going to bring Mashiach? Is it going to be our work, or Hashem going to do it on His own?
Depends on us.
You get what I'm saying? It's not an argument which month.
That's the argument.
What's the mode? What's going to cause Mashiach to come? Is God waiting for us to do tshuva like Tishrei, or is God just going to do it like Nisan?
This is the Rav Kook, no? He said, you need to do the work, don't wait.
But so he wants to end off here very
So it depends on us.
right. Okay, but here he wants to end off a very interesting thing.
It's Pesach,
Huh?
it's Tishrei.
Exactly. No,
Cheshena is
Hasten, it's
No.
quick.
Tishrei, you do that.
Because of us, we force Achishena.
okay.
All
When Hashem does it. Okay, whatever.
in its time.
Here he ends off with an interesting thing. He says, I'll tell you a secret. There's two types of a Sirusa de Le'ela. And we'll end off with this thought. It's a beautiful thought. There's sometimes your parent wakes you up because you're sleeping. So that's, your parent comes, wakes you up. That's the initial awakening. Then what does your parents hope? That you're going to wake up on your own and do it on your own. It's like the Rebbe pulled the guy for 20 years, but then he has to do it. But now goes a third level. After you do everything on your own, and you reach the fullest capacity of what you could reach, then comes a higher Isarusa de Le'ela that could only come once you reach your full capacity. Listen to a good example with a parent.
That's the bonus.
Your child went to school this year, everything 100, woke up on time, listened to everything. The teacher never fought with his siblings, never said no to the parents, always did the right thing. The parents, after a year, they say, you know what?
It's the wrong kid.
He deserves. He deserves. I should buy him a Tesla. I'm just giving an example. Now the kid wasn't working for a Tesla. He was working to get 100. But this, after what he went through, he deserves Isarusa de Leila. So in other words, there's two kinds of Isarusa de Leila. There's one initiation that God does to wake us up. Then he hopes that we use that and we work. But then comes, after we did our max,
The bonus.
then comes Hashem gives you a level that's higher than the wake-up one. It's constant, but it only can come when you're complete. That's the difference between Pesach, Omer, and Shavuos.
What's the name of the third one?
Isarusa de Leila, Shalamayla Misurusa de Latata. It's two levels in the Susa de Leila.
Maya.
Listen to this. Pesach, Hashem woke us up. Then comes the Sfira to Omer. Every week, we take one attribute and we refine it, and we try to work, and we try to do Isusa Latata, and we try to get better and better. For 7 weeks, 7 times 7, 49. And God says, wow, you guys did it. I'm giving you a gift that you can't believe. Shavuos, the Torah. But I can't give you the Torah if you didn't do your whole finished maximum. So it's not the wake-up inspiration. It's the God's respond. Once you finish everything, then you get this level that's above everything.
But why?
But he needs it's like you have to have a cup to put the water in. So you need to be complete, a vessel, so you could get this level that's above everything. But your work is not initiating that level, because you can't reach it. You're only initiating your level that you can reach. But when you finish reaching your max, then Hashem gives you a level that there's no way you could reach, but I can only give it to you once you finish your finished max. That's Shavuos. What did you want to ask?
Why need to be initiated with Hashem? Likkutei Torah. Why can it be initiated with the Torah? I reach my maximum, and then I get the final push, or whatever you want to call it.
You mean why I had to start with the Susa Leila?
Yes.
Like why Nissan?
No. You said there is Torah Leila, right? And then you said there is Torah Leila, right? So
That comes after you finish your Susa
why
Leila.
have to be initiated? That
From
my
the
parents
Susa
woke me
Leila.
up. Can I wake up by myself, do all the work for the year? And
Okay,
then I
yeah,
get-
you could, but we're just telling you how Nissan, Omer, and Shavuos work. Now, in other words, that's the mode. Now, every year, how would I put it? Every year we're going to a higher level. So last year, Nissan, Hashem inspired you, and then you did. This year, Hashem says, you know what? I want to wake you up, not to wake you up from your sleep. You're doing good, but I want to wake you up to get to a higher level.
So you have
there's
to
a-
continue
happens
to
all the
count
time.
the Omer.
So that's again Nissan.
Happens all the time.
Huh?
You continue to count the Omer after this year.
Yeah, after the after, this is what he ends off. We're going to finish this piece, and then next week we speak about Shavuos in this moment. It's unbelievable how Shtei Alechem, the bread with the milchiks and fleishiks.
Shlomo was a pretty smart guy.
Oh, Shlomo was unbelievable.
He had
It
all
took-
this
it
in his
took-
head.
It's not only that.
Initiated.
Every word that Shlomo said, we needed 3,000 mishalim. How do you say mishalim? Yeah, but in English. And now to explain one sentence. So you want Alter Rebbe to explain to you one thing? The last paragraph. Yesh oit b'chinas gimel b'susa d'leila v'hu gam kein susa d'leila shelamayla misusa l'tata. It's also an awakening above. V'aynu she'ein susa l'tata makal Hashem. You cannot get there. Ki inyan kedushasi l'man kedushaschem. Like Hashem said in this past parsha, kedushasi. My holiness is above your holiness. El Shafa became. Ein Sherem is Gala, it can't get to you, Ela Kishiyesh Shleimus, B'mayis Hatachtoinim. We need to have a Shleimus, Shkwanishma Susa Leila Shvilach Tata, Azai Sherem is Gala, Gami Salmaila Me'echos Tata. And as it says in the pasuk, Ani Yeshena Pischali Kechud Shamat Chat, Ani Eftach Loch Kepischoi Shel Ulam. Kamei Ken Gabi Shabbos. Remember what happened by Shabbos? God told the Jewish people, I have a very special gift for you. So the Jew says, what's this gift? He says, his name is Shabbos. Don't you love Shabbos?
Yeah,
I can't wait for Shabbos, right? Huh? Eight Pchinas Shabbos Shalamayim Tata and Matana Shalamayim Tata. El Shavu Bikain. It's funny. In the Gemara it says, Misha Torach Be'erev Shabbos, Yochal B'Shabbos, which means the more you work before Shabbos, the more you're going to enjoy Shabbos. So just practical. You make good food, you have to cook it before Shabbos. You make a good drink, you have to do it before Shabbos. So Misha Tarach. Tarach means if you work hard on Erev Shabbos, then you'll have what to eat on Shabbos. But then what happens? But then it says that that's your part. So you work 6 days a week, you're working for Shabbos. Sunday you're working for Shabbos, Monday you're working for Shabbos, Tuesday you're working for Shabbos, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and now you earned Shabbos. So that's called Isirusa Latata, and you got Yisusa. But then Hashem says, you know what? Now that you did such a good job, you prepared and you earned the Shabbos, I'm going to give you in Shabbos a gift that's above what you can't reach. That's called matana. In other words, there is the whole week we're working to earn the Shabbos. We're working on ourselves. We're trying to make everything holy. Our business should be the right business and everything. Then it comes Shabbos. Oh, we earned it. Misha Tarach Be'erev Shabbos, you're going to eat in Shabbat. But then when Shabbos comes, Hashem says, wow, you reach your maximum. Now I'm going to give you a matana, a gift of Shabbos that's above everything. That you're going to feel such a tainug. Tainug is a pleasure. On Shabbos, that's above any pleasure you could feel. That's just a gift from Hashem. So that's the Serusa de Leila that comes after you finish your whole work of 6 days a week of earning the Shabbos. The Karasa la Shabbos Oneg. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, so I think we finished.